What's up, guys? It's Ronnie from the Broad Street Trades back again with another swing alert recap. There's no intro. Let's just jump right into it. Yeet. All right, so this week we took a few trades here. As you can see, it was kind of aggressive. Typically, I try to take at least 3 to 4. In the weeks that normally I'm really aggressive, I don't really do too great. So, but this week a lot of opportunities were presenting themselves, and I was just trying to take advantage of them while we could. So first one of the week was NPC, 55 calls for 416, as you can see. So we got it for 86 cents. Got it for 133. So let's see. So NPC was selling off nicely from the supply zone here that I was watching, and then it pulled into a demand zone towards the end of the day. I really liked the reaction that we had of this demand zone, so I alerted for calls. We wound up swinging this to the next day. Literally sniped this trade. If you got out right at open like I did, you had about a half hour to get out before it pulled back to this demand zone again, which you could have actually retraded again. But as you can see, I got out for 50%. 54%. They did hit a high of I think it was like $1.50 a contract. That was literally the high. You couldn't catch the whole move. If I remember correctly, actually I think I did. I might have got out for the high of 150, and I think I got out again for like 127. I could be telling a fib there, but either way, 54% profit. You can't be upset with that. Total of $93. Had 2 contracts. Next is MU. See what we did here. So MU was creating this rising wedge here. So the thought process was that it was going to get up in the supply zone and squeeze out at some point. Like I expected it to push up towards this trend line at some point. Excuse me. But just on the off chance that it was going to just completely reject the supply zone, I wanted to get in towards the end of the day. So it started coming to the supply zone here and it immediately started to reject. I think we got in like on this candle here towards the end of the day. And as you can see, so held it over. It basically was flat the whole day. Wasn't up, wasn't down. I think it was up like 2 or 3%, but that's nothing to call home about. And then next day, market opens. It actually pushes through. I was still comfortable holding this. And it broke through this trend line. I was still comfortable. And then once it broke through my supply zone, this is when I normally get out. But I waited for a retest of my trend line, which it did. And then I actually alerted the exit here. Hindsight, should have held. And when I say like 5 minutes longer, like it literally like peaked out. It literally peaked out and then sold off. Literally peaked out. It basically stopped me out. It wicked me out basically of my own zone, and then sold off. And at one point, these contracts were up 15%. I did not hold. I had a unofficial contract, and I mean unofficial meaning I alerted the exit at that price for everybody that's following, and I held one contract on a different account, not the singular account, on a different account. I held one contract, and I wound up getting out for like 5% profit when it started pulling back, but that wound up being a big loss. I want to be in a 30% loser. Definitely could have played that better. Like I said, it literally wicked me out, sold back off. So that could have been a 15% winner instead of a 30% loser. But hey, it happens. Next up is CCO. So CCO was actually a decent play at first. So towards the end of the day in market, CCO was having an amazing run. It's actually been like up a lot. If I pull back just a little bit. So it's actually up since the 25th. It's actually up, was out about almost 5 points. So 4 points is when we got in at. So I started rejecting my supply zone here. And I was very interested in swinging this. So we actually took this, we actually swung it. And at one point we were up 17%. Like we literally caught the top on this trade. We were up 17% before market close. I alerted if you wanted to play it safe, get out. If not, swing it. I'm swinging all, and which I did. So market closed, right? And then literally the CDC announces that cruise lines could begin, cruising again in the summertime. They could begin operations again in the summer with no delays. So that sent cruise lines flying. Caribbean Cruise Line, Norwegian Cruise Line, they all, got huge momentum off that. So that was just super unfortunate. Nothing we could do. It's literally nothing I could do about a trade like that. It did top tick basically my supply, and then decided to sell off at open on Thursday. So if someone diamond handed this, which I don't think anyone did, but if someone did diamond hand this, they could have got out for a small profit here. I was still keeping track of the trade just in case someone was in it. I don't think anyone was in it. No one told me they were in it. But at one point, the contracts were up like 9%. So if someone diamond handed them, they're the goats. Then we took a trade on Baba. I'm actually still holding this. Kind of a dumb move. I diamond handed this, but they were up. I can't remember the percentage. I know the contracts had a high of 250. And some people, everyone has a different average on this one, so it was kind of hard to keep track of it. But so Baba came into a demand zone here towards the end of close on Wednesday. On the 7th, yep, towards the end of close, and I alerted a call here, alerted a swing. My target was this trend line, this resistance line here at 230.30. So basically, we're pushed up here before. So market open, it basically gapped up. A lot of people got out for profit at market open. It gave a second exit. It gave a second exit here at the top. It basically chopped off the rest of the day. It held above like 10 to 15% all day profit wise. I decided to swing it one more day and wind up gapping down off of really bad news. And as of right now, Baba still has bad news that the lawsuit that was pending against him is now closed for like $2.9 billion fine. In my opinion, that was what was holding it down in the first place. That's one of the reasons why it's been down since February. And now since the news is over, it should be actually pushed back up. So I'm actually not too upset that I'm still holding this. But as of right now, I think those contracts are down like 35%. So I guess I'll give a recap about that next week. Beyond Meat. So we took a swing here. The 140 calls, 416. Switching over. Yet again, going into market close, it actually was in my demand zone here, so I alerted the swing. I actually was expecting this to move a lot more than it did. It didn't move crazy, but we did get 50% out of it. So market opened up. It actually pushed into a supply, which was right here, which was our first target anyways. And then it actually pushed back, retested, and pushed off again. So you actually had two exits. You had the open exit and the retest of the supply zone, and then the breakout, you had an exit. And the whole time, it basically held. Even when it pulled back, it held 30%. So for anywhere between 30% and 50%, you could have got out the whole time. And that was actually probably like a really, really good swing. I probably should have went a lot heavier than I did, but I weigh every trade the same. I tend to go $150 to $250 per trade on a small account. Once the account's at $2,500 or maybe even $2,000, I'll start going in $300 to $400 per trade. So that probably be like an extra contract or two most of the times. We did take Beyond again here. It's kind of the same setup. We got in the same contracts for basically almost half the price, but it also less time. Keep that in mind. It is next week's expirations. I just love the risk reward on them. So yet again, the contracts were only, I think I learned at 87 cents or something like that. And I did average down, and now I have average 77 cents. Someone has an average of 67 cents or something like that. 69 cents. Lucky guy. But I like the risk reward here. So it was basically very close to our stop loss. As you see, my alert here, 129.44. That's my stop loss here. Well, so basically 129.50. If it breaks this, then I'll get out of the trade. So in my opinion, we're risking nothing to possibly gain the same run up, because Beyond will move. Beyond will run up 5-6 points in a day. So, and there's a falling wedge here that's creating that I think is going to break out of at some point. We might pull back to this 125 demand first and then ricochet and pull off. Either way, I'll be there for that one too. But so far it's kind of a solid week. Wrong spot. It was kind of a solid week. For the week, only up for almost 5%, so 4.8%. The accounts still hovering around 200% profits. We're still holding a few contracts like Netflix literally actually this is actually wrong. Netflix keep giving me exits for break even, which is kind of funny. This one looked like it's probably going to be a loser. As of right now, these contracts are at 80 cents or 90 cents, I think. They're not at $1.30. So I'm actually down on that. So the account's down a little bit more than it's presenting right here, but that's only because they're not closed, so it's unrealized loss. The Lilies are down big, but they were like super cheap, and they were way out. They were way out of the money. So it's kind of. Oh, that's actually should be 210 and not two. Should be 210. I didn't notice that error before. So sorry about that. So these are actually down a lot. I think they're like worth 10 cents right now. So they're down like 80% basically. They were cheap enough, and the open interest in the contracts justified me holding even when they were down. Sometimes you got to just take those risks. Sometimes you just got to follow the money kind of. And that was one of those situations. Like I said, Baba's open. I'm down on those as of right now. Beyond Meat's open. So I think the count in total was actually unrealized. I think it's up actually $820 or $830 instead of up 1,000. Otherwise, I mean, that's still amazing. Either way, that still be like 160%. For April so far, we're up 15%. Like to keep the streak going. Once this counts at 5K, I'll probably stop the challenge, or maybe I'll start the 5K challenge. Probably 5K to 25K. I just want to, try to 10x a lot of these accounts and then be done with them forever and just document them. But that'd be all. Till next time, guys. Take care.